here's your conservative, but not bitter host, Todd Huff.
I tell you what, I have a love-hate relationship with technology. We're a little bit late getting started this morning. It was a perfect storm of a mess here getting connected, but we were able to connect and get on air here a couple minutes late, but I do apologize for that. I want to thank Jeremy at the station and Oz for walking me through. I'm flying solo here today. Flying solo here this morning. Some things popped up, and here we go. No Oz to throw stuff at me when I get off schedule or the time clock or keep me straight during the breaks, but we'll be good to go. Here we are on a Friday. I've got Matt Lamb here in the program that's going to be joining us as well. And I want to talk about COVID. I want to talk about Biden yesterday, his speech. I don't know if you saw this thing. I'm planning on playing a little bit of it. By the way, for the record, right now, and this changes. You've seen this. If you haven't seen this, let me make you aware of this. But right now, the count, what am I watching? I have the YouTube clip of Biden's speech yesterday, 3.1 thousand views for the President of the United States on his 45-minute talk. And it picks up it's not at the beginning, or maybe it is the beginning. You know, when you listen to Biden talk, you don't really know where the beginning is anyway. He's probably up there saying things, and then they turn the mic on. Of course, they're saying things in his in that earpiece. Okay, Mr. President, you're going live. Here we go. Remember the teleprompter, sir. I'm kidding, not kidding. It's not personal, but I mean the stuff that we're subjected to, the dog and pony show, the smoke and mirrors here, and just the way that we're supposed to ignore legitimate things about Biden, and then of course believe that Trump was a step away from throwing the country under the bus and remaking it as a dictatorship. This is literally the narrative. And if you look at the side that's constantly on the side of mandates, forcing this, vaccine that. And again, I know if you watch me on YouTube, this show's probably going to get taken down today. And YouTube doesn't know how many strikes I have anyway. So this could be my 95th strike on YouTube by their account. It could be their first strike, anything in between. But we're going to talk about this. I don't know how else to talk about this. My job, my friend, is to come to you when I'm on this air and to tell you what I think, raise questions, think things through, talk things through with you, and I've got to be able to do that in an honest way. And that's where we are. But back to this Biden video on YouTube, 3.1 thousand views, it says, 117 likes, 337 thumbs down, dislikes or whatever. So that's what we've got with Biden here. And again, we are well on the path to mask mandates. In fact, I saw yesterday, the CDC director said that if, and it wasn't who was it? Maybe one of his people in his administration, I forget who it was now, I read this, was saying we might return to masks if that's what the CDC recommends. And of course, we know the CDC now is telling people in areas where the virus is spiking that they should wear masks if they are vaccinated or unvaccinated. Again, folks, if you are vaccinated, that is fine. If you are not vaccinated, that is fine. My whole thing is just do what you think. I mean, based upon the advice from your doctor or, your own research, and I mean, legitimate research, not just like only read stuff that's one way or the other. There's a lot of things about this we don't know. There's a lot of things about this we do know. For example, yesterday I found on what's the Nature? Was it nature.com? Yeah, nature.com. This is a story from back in May. Headline says, had COVID, you'll probably make antibodies for a lifetime. Now, this really should not be surprising because this is how God designed the body to work. right? From a Christian perspective, from the fall of man, bad stuff started happening because of our own decisions. The universe began unraveling and disease, started existing, multiplying, and so forth. And so the body has an ability. God gave us the ability to, when it recognizes in the bloodstream or wherever, to develop antibodies. Oh, that thing is a foreign entity. Let us fight that off. And so it develops a way to fight off and to keep those that virus from replicating, or to slow its replication, or to just fight it off, and however the body does it. I'm not a scientist, microbiologist, but I've always studied these things, right? I mean, reading, trying to just understand. I have an interest in a lot of things. Many of you do too. This is how the body works. And once the threat is gone in your bloodstream, there may not be any antibodies left, but you know what? They go into your bone marrow. They hang out down there. The body says, hey, you know what? That thing that we fought off, let's keep some of those folks around so that if we ever detect it in our bloodstream again, if we ever detect it inside the confines of this body again, let us create, call that guy back up here so he can fight this virus. And that's what happens. And so they're doing blood draws sometimes to detect antibodies. And remember the whole thing, oh man, you only have antibodies for some amount of weeks or months. Well, what typically happens is it goes into the bone marrow. So unless you're doing some pull from bone marrow, I don't even think that you can detect it. And it doesn't mean it's not there. That's what science, that's what we've learned from science over all these generations. And not only that, if you are the mask, we act as though the mask has just now been studied for the first time during COVID. And the truth is, that's not the case. It had been studied with the flu many times. And I'd found some research on this. There were like 6, 8, 9 tests that all of them, every single one of them, showed that masks did nothing statistically, relevant to the spread, to preventing against the spread of COVID. Or again, it wasn't COVID, it was the flu, I believe. In fact, one of those studies showed that wearing a mask actually makes it more likely that you spread COVID, or that you get COVID or spread it to someone else, because you're touching the germs with your hand when you're fidgeting with your mask. And you know that the research has been done to find other things on masks. But here we go, back down the mask path. Biden gonna knock on your door. Excuse me, have you been vaccinated? The door-to-door vaccine corps. Why aren't people more upset about this? We've gotten this mindset that says you will get this vaccine. If you will get this vaccine, if we got to hold you down and shove this in your arm. And I made this observation, which I feel is pretty obvious, right? I believe at this point there are some people who are, I'm not saying we're going to actually get there. I pray that we don't. But there are some people that you will encounter today that would absolutely, without any question whatsoever, have no problem strapping you down and giving you the jab if you've not had it. That sound American to you, my friend? Again, there's just so many questions. If the vaccine works, Biden says that this is this is a pandemic of the unvaccinated. They want to save you from yourself. You're too stupid. They care more about your life than you care about your own. Heard something from my wife about one of her friends yesterday. Some of the things that she's getting in the workplace, stuff that if it would happen with any other thing besides your vaccination status, people would be up in arms. People would be crying, "That's a HIPAA violation. That's none of your business. Who do you think you are?" Just like openly telling people, hey, this person here at the office or whatever hasn't had the vaccine. And then they kind of gang up on the person, look at them as though they're a moron. Do you understand that you're going to die if you don't take this vaccine? And I'm thinking, who's the one that's, of course there is a risk. There's a risk with both. And I don't know why we don't allow, I do know why. But as reasonable adults, I don't know why we aren't allowed to say that. I had a conversation yesterday with someone. This individual got their first dose of the vaccine yesterday or the day before or something. And we talked about it, and we talked about it like adults, one way or the other. And this person knew, I can see it both ways. There's risks both ways. I decided that it's this person said, I'm gonna get the vaccine because I think that it's better to have it than to not have it. I respect that. I have some of you that say, hey, you know what? You need to tell people how bad this thing is. And there are things that you need to research. But there's also lots of people that have had it that have not really had any problems. Most people that I'm aware of at least get a little bit sick for a day or two. I have known people that have had some very bad side effects, and not tons, but I know of people it's been really bad. One guy that's had it, I don't know, it's been really bad for him. But we're not allowed to have this conversation. That's not American either. We'll find out if YouTube thinks I can even, and what did I even say? Did I say don't get the vaccine? I've never once said that. In fact, I specifically said the opposite. If you think you should get it, you should get it. That's what I think. If you think you shouldn't get it, then I don't think you should get it due to force. I think that too. And I don't understand what is so tough about this. Again, Biden says it's a pandemic of the unvaccinated. And so basically he's now admitting that the only people, according to what they're telling us now, which is subject to change at any second in time, and it's not just because they don't know. It's because sometimes they try to get you to do something that they just want you to do without question. Who are you? By the way, who are you to ask a question of some of these vaccine Nazis, the door-to-door vaccine corps that Biden's going to be sending through neighborhoods soon? Now they're going to pay, they're telling states to pay $100 a vaccine. People who've already had the vaccine are thinking, wait a minute, where's my Hyundai here? I need $100 for that too. You didn't pay me. We got the money I alluded to yesterday in COVID's for the first American Rescue Act, or whatever they call these things. $1 trillion that's still been unspent, and the previous rescue plans were voting to spend more money as we speak on quote unquote infrastructure. On and on this stuff goes, right? It permeates every aspect of our lives. You see more and more agencies. I see the military now. Military is going to require, I believe I saw that this morning. Make sure I'm not making that up here on the spot. I saw it last night. New York Times headline. I think I'll look at that during the break. But I know that there's departments now that are requiring it. Federal employees in general are now requiring it per Biden's speech yesterday, which again, time permitting, I'll play some sound bites from. But I just wanted to kind of give you just the general rundown here of where we are, what's going on, the status of what it means to be an American today. Charles Barkley said the other day, if you've not gotten the vaccine by now, you're what can I say on the air? It's something that would definitely get bleeped. You are the backside, a part of your backside. That's what he said. Anyway, so much going on with this. And, underneath all of it is this uncertainty about what's going to happen next. Are we really headed back towards some of these draconian measures of complete lockdowns and shutdowns? You got Nancy Pelosi telling Capitol Police to arrest people who don't have masks on. We've gotten into complete nuttyville here. And again, some people are cheering this. They're literally cheering this. You got some people, and I got to take a break, I know, but you have some people who are cheering if, say, someone gets COVID that doesn't have the vaccine. There are literally people, I'm telling you, this sounds terrible, but they're almost, I'm going to throw the word almost in there because I think some actually go past almost. I'm just being nice here. They almost are rooting for bad things to happen. So they can say, see, I told you so. I tried to tell them I'm smart. I follow the science. These people are idiots. They're just Trump supporters or whatever. Trump got the vaccine. Trump's the one that, without Trump, there wouldn't even be this vaccine, which some people say that's a great thing. Other people say that's part of the problem. Okay, I can get both of perspectives on that too. But we are well down the path to Nuttyville here with this. The government knows best. You get less options. Shut up and do what you're told. That's where we are. Get $100 in the process. Remember when Bush's tax cuts back in early 2000s? We got $600. The criticism for that, they're going to send you your measly $600. Remember Nancy Pelosi talking about peanuts and all this stuff? Of course it's peanuts when you've used your position of office to get mega wealthy, arguably. Anyway, $100. That's great. Biden cares about average people. I mean, this stuff just on and on this goes into so many areas of our lives. Meanwhile, the rest of us are just trying to get back to normal. Be responsible, right? But we're trying to live our lives, run our businesses. There's other side effects to COVID, mental health, children getting back to normal, education's plummeted because I saw yesterday Jay Hyde of Shepherd shared with me that there were we've lost 6 months. I think it was 6 months because of what happened last year with education, 6 months of education. It translates into like $60,000 per person of lost income. They project over time because of what happened to COVID. The cost of this, you add this stuff up, monstrous. Can't ask questions, though. Can't share your own feelings. Can't have a dialogue. If you're not getting vaccinated, you're part of the problem. You're probably banned or shadow banned or throttled on social media. Really long in this segment. Quick time out. Next segment's going to be really short. Then I've got a conversation with Matt Lamb of the College Fix. We're going to talk a little bit about some things happening on colleges pertaining to COVID as well, but quick time out. Back in just a minute.
Had enough of the cancel culture? Why not fight back by directly supporting the advertisers who make this program possible? Visit supportouradvertisers.com to give those who help bring this program to you the opportunity to earn your business. Find out more about businesses like Gray Brothers Cafeteria, R&R Products, and Reformation by supporting supportouradvertisers.com today.
I want to get one more season out of my furnace or air conditioner. Have you or someone you know ever made that statement? Economy heating, air conditioning, and plumbing has heard it a lot. Did you know that furnaces and air conditioners are most likely to break down when they're under stress? That means during the hottest and coldest months of the year, like those months quickly approaching us. With winter on the horizon, now is the time to replace that old rickety unit. With 0% financing for up to 72 months and up to $600 in instant rebates, now is the time to buy. Doing great work is Economy's priority, and the satisfaction of their customers is their number one goal, guaranteed. Make your home comfortable this winter. Contact Economy Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing today by calling 317-831-5279 or visit them at economyheatingandair.com.
Are you tired of manually opening the gate every time you pull in the drive, especially during the freezing cold, pouring rain, or hot, humid weather? Then Gatekeeper Services has your solution. They offer affordable residential and commercial motorized units for your gated properties. Veteran-owned with over 50 years' experience in motorized gate sales and repairs on any make or model, and with numerous entry control options, Gatekeeper Services takes pride being certified in both automated gate system design and operator installation. Simplify your life today by calling 317-714-4061.
Healthcare is expensive and complicated. Did you know that as a Christian business owner, it is possible to provide access to affordable health benefits for your employees? Remodel Health has helped employers across the United States save over $22 million in the past 3 years. Our innovative approach allows your employees to have the health benefits they need at a cost you can afford. Go to remodelhealth.com/Todd to help your employees find the healthcare they deserve. Remodel Health. Rethink employee health benefits.
All right, here we go. $100 down, $200 back at $300.
I went to my first firearms auction a few years ago. It was hosted by TJ Freegee, one of my good friends from high school, who is a champion auctioneer and one of the best in the business. In spite of objections from liberal legislators, I walked away with a .22 rifle and a few boxes of ammunition. And I had a great afternoon with my grandpa that I won't soon forget. If you've ever wondered what treasure you could find in an auction, visit FreegeeAuctioneers.com and take a look at their upcoming Central Indiana auction schedule. That's Freegee, F-R-E-I-J-E, auctioneers.com. Visit FreegeeAuctioneers.com.
Hi, I'm TJ Freegee, owner and lead auctioneer at Freegee and Freegee Auctions and Marketing. I invite you to come see the power of live auctions. It's fast, it's fun, it's transparent, and it's the absolute best way to ensure you get fair market value for your asset today. Get results, go auction.
Hey Indy, Sid here with Kill a Dent Removal. We specialize in a paint-free repair process known as PDR. Our certified master technicians remove dents and dings of all shapes and sizes, including hail damage, with zero body fillers, zero painting, and zero diminished value. Most repairs are completed the same day, many even while you wait. Check us out at killadentremoval.com. And remember, folks, don't paint your car, go PDR.
Weddings, reunions, business, church, or family retreats. Indiana Paradise Retreat is a hidden gem located right here in central Indiana. With over 11,000 square feet, a theater, gym, sauna, hot tub, pool, stocked lakes, and even an on-site event hangar, we have just the place for your next event. Find us on Airbnb, VRBO, or just search for Indiana Paradise Retreat. We look forward to seeing you soon.
Welcome back, my friends. Going to be an ultra uber short segment here because, well, just going to have to be that way because there's a tech problem at the top. We lost a couple minutes and I was long-winded last segment. I referenced something I said that I saw in the New York Times last night. I did see it. Military members, headline in the New York Times, will be subject to the same COVID-19 vaccination rules that President Biden outlined for civilian federal workers, the Pentagon said last night. And that basically is having people who are unvaccinated submit to testing as often as twice a week, be restricted from traveling, and be required to wear a mask and remain socially distant. Look, this, you know what this is? This is to make your life as miserable as possible to encourage you to get the vaccine. That's it. That's what this is. That's what this is. And really, what Biden has admitted, for any critical thinkers out there, Biden has admitted by what they're telling us now, which, again, is subject to change at any moment in time. In fact, it may have already changed 11 times for all I know. Biden has admitted that this is claimed this is a pandemic of the unvaccinated. If you're vaccinated, you're going to be fine. You might get COVID. But you won't have extreme circumstances or symptoms. You're not going to be hospitalized. That's what they're saying now. You're not going to be, the likelihood of death is low. The likelihood of death is already low to begin with. And I'm just telling you, right? You do with information. I know people that are vaccinated and I think great. I know people who are unvaccinated and I think great. The point is, if the vaccine is working and doing its job, does it really warrant all this additional behavior and making lives miserable for people? Why twice a week? Why not every hour? We don't know. Why would we just wait and, say it's Sunday and Thursday that they get the test? What if they got exposed Monday or Sunday after the test? There's 3 or 4 days where you are putting people at risk. But you're not, because you're crammed in the corner of the room with your mask on and you can't travel anywhere, scheduling your next test where they're going to jab something 8 feet up your nose. This is designed to make it miserable. To me, I don't see this any other way. I really don't. designed to make it miserable. Meanwhile, I got to take a break. Just saw another headline in the New York Times that this Delta variant, this is breaking news, 12:52 this morning, the Delta variant is as contagious as chickenpox and may be spread by unvaccinated people. Well, no, oh my gosh, no kidding. We knew this already too, but now they got to put it into the headline because we're moving down towards who knows what's next, more mask mandates and so forth. It can be spread as easily as by the vaccinated as the unvaccinated, which means if you're vaccinated, you can carry the virus and it can mutate just as much as if you don't, because oh my goodness, this stuff just defies common sense, folks. I'm telling you it does, because they told us that the reason I've got to get vaccinated is because I might catch it and it might mutate and go around someone else's vaccine. That's the short version of what they're telling us. Anyway, I just have to run. I got to take a break. I don't have to run. I share a conversation I had with Matt Lamb. But this stuff, I really don't mind whatever choice people make. But my goodness, they're up in the ante. This is 2.0 on government's response to COVID. And it's as though they've learned nothing but to be more totalitarian and authoritarian. But they're the ones that are defending democracy, they say. Oh my goodness, got to take a break. Sit tight, back here in just a minute.
Looking to make a conservative, not bitter fashion statement? Check out our apparel online, including brand new items at toddhuffshow.com/shop today.
Family owned since 1973, Edwards Equipment at 1375 East Main Street in Danville is ready to meet your equipment needs by selling, renting, and servicing several makes and models of lightweight residential or heavy-duty commercial equipment. We carry and service top-name brands like Ferris, Kubota, Steel, Gravely, Honda Power, Land Pride, and more. Visit edwardstractor.com or call 317-745-6427 to check out our clearance specials today. At Edwards Equipment, we don't just sell you any piece of equipment, we sell you the right piece of equipment.
Are you looking for reliable advice on real estate investing? Then you should start listening to the Homeboys. Clint and Scott have over 40 years of real estate investing experience that they use to educate and guide their listeners. Listen and learn from their experiences to maximize your real estate investment strategy. You can find the Homeboys podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcast, or watch them on YouTube. That's the Homeboys podcast. They can show you how to get started and reach your real estate investment goals.
You're busy. At Citizens Bank, we know your time is precious. That's why we're bringing a full-service branch to Stones Crossing for all your home, commercial, and personal banking needs. Looking to open an account, get assistance from your mortgage and commercial lenders, or just make all banking transactions right from your car? We can make it easy for you. Visit our new branch at 1767 West Stones Crossing Road. Citizens Bank. More bank for your buck.
How would you like to get a $1,000 bonus after just 3 months on the job? Sound good? If so, Wallace Construction is ready to hire you today. They're a family-owned business with 45 years experience in asphalt, concrete, and seal coating. Call 317-422-5356 to find out more about this $1,000 bonus opportunity. That's Wallace Construction, 317-422-5356. Be sure to tell them Todd sent you. Unhappy with your CPAP machine? Now you have an alternative. The docs at Indy Dental Sleep have an oral appliance that treats snoring and sleep apnea. They begin with an in-home sleep test that is diagnosed by a sleep physician before prescribing your appliance. And it's covered by most medical insurance plans. It's preferred 20-1 versus CPAP. Call 317-888-4036 and start getting the sleep you need. Or visit IndyDentalSleep.com.
Geothermal tax credits are back, making this the perfect time to install a new Climate Master geothermal system. Take advantage of this limited time 26% tax credit and begin cutting your heating and cooling bills immediately. Visit indianageothermal.com/info to get your free Climate Master information kit or call 317-829-1490. Visit indianageothermal.com/info or call 317-829-1490. Geothermal, it's cheaper than you think.
Corin Homes is expanding their 55-plus community. Briar Creek is the only senior manufactured home community in Indianapolis featuring Indiana-built homes. Floor plans and finishes starting at $75,000. Enjoy affordable, low-maintenance lifestyle with the charm of a residential neighborhood. Located minutes from I-465 in Fort Harrison State Park. Corin Homes, family-owned and operated since 1955. Check us out at COHRONhomes.com. Mention the Todd Huff Show and receive a $1,000 discount on your new home.
Well, I'm joined by Matt Lamb, assistant editor of the College Fix, and he comes on the program from time to time to talk about some of the stuff happening in education in general, college campuses, and so forth. So, Matt, welcome back to the program. How are you today, sir?
Good. Thanks for having me.
Well, it's always a pleasure, and I'm always enlightened after our conversations here. So, a couple things that we've that some articles that you've sent me that we've looked at, and get into a couple of these. But I think I want to start with the one that we were just talking about off air before we jumped on this interview here. And headline here at thecollegefix.com is BYU Hawaii, which I didn't know there's a BYU campus in Hawaii, but BYU Hawaii refuses to grant student exemption from the COVID vaccine that could paralyze her. So tell us about what this story is and what's going on here.
Sure. So Olivia Sandor was going to be a freshman at Brigham Young University in Hawaii, which is, of course, run by the Mormon Church.
Mm-hmm.
And in 2019, she took a vaccine for something. I'm not sure if it was for the flu or measles, what exactly it was for. But she had a reaction. She developed something called Guillain-Barré syndrome. And what that does is it can paralyze you. So she was actually paralyzed from the waist down. Thankfully, she was able to regain the ability to walk. So when Brigham Young University Hawaii mandated the vaccine, she, gathered all the documentation from her doctor. The FDA actually recently put a warning on the Johnson & Johnson vaccine that said this was a possibility. And she asked the university for an exemption from this policy.
Which is totally reasonable.
Right, totally reasonable. And they actually denied it. But what's interesting is the university does not require their faculty and staff to get vaccinated. So they've already established that some people will be safe, that they've already accepted a certain level of people won't be vaccinated this fall, but they're refusing to give an exemption to someone who has a very clearly established, credible fear of what will happen if she takes the vaccine.
Man, it is following this stuff and keeping up with the latest with COVID, and even today we played a soundbite from Biden saying that if you don't get the vaccine, you're not as smart as he thought you were, which I kind of take as a compliment for those that decided not to get a vaccine. But I mean, keeping on top of this and factoring in all these individual situations like we have with this student seems to have been lost here in this whole process. So what did she decide to do, Matt? She's not going there anymore. Is that correct in my understanding?
Right. So the most recent update I know is that she said she won't go there. I mean, she can't. They won't let her on. It's a standstill. She won't get the vaccine. Mm-hmm. They won't let her come out without a vaccine. So I believe I assume she's looking at her other options. And what's interesting is there's actually two other BYU campuses. Most people probably know the Salt Lake City one, and then there's one in Idaho. And I don't believe they've required the COVID vaccine yet. So she could look into there, but of course there's always the fear that, well, they could just come out next semester and say you have to take it. So as far as I know, she's exploring her options, maybe looking at public universities. If she actually went to the public university, University of Hawaii, they've removed their vaccine mandate. So she would actually, I believe she actually is a Mormon, so she actually should have more religious liberties if she went to the public university and not the university run by her own church.
Oh my goodness.
Which is a curious situation.
Well, and it is a maze of confusion. The left hand does not know what the right is doing, and if she goes, who knows? They might have the Biden door-to-door vaccine corps coming knocking and force the jab on her as well. Who knows what's next? So another article you sent me that I'm intrigued by, and this kind of falls in the same general category, I guess. Clemson school administrators used COVID caps and fake RSVPs to suppress turnout at a conservative event. This sounds like a perfect match made in heaven for these liberals running college campuses and using these excuses to suppress conservative turnout. Tell us a little about what's going on here.
Sure. So last year in April, the Turning Point USA group at Clemson was hosting a number of speakers. They sponsor different events. And because of the lockdowns and COVID, this is April 2020, so there's still a lot we were, kind of learning. Several administrators, one whose name was Amy Burke and another whose name was Shreda Bufford, they were actually caught on social media bragging about how they had reserved extra tickets that they never planned to use, and then obviously they weren't going to show up. So we can imagine this would happen, let's say there was 50 spots, let's just say. And if they each reserve 10 or 15, then those people who might want to come to the event see it and they're not allowed to come in. This has actually been used before. When I actually used to work for Turning Point several years ago, people would do this. They'd reserve lots of seats that they had no intention of using, and then they wouldn't show up. So, and these are also administrators. So I think it's fair to ask, well, what role did they maybe play in setting the original limits, or who did they talk to? And it's really harmful, of course, to college discussion, because maybe there were liberal students who wanted to come and wanted to debate these speakers or wanted to challenge them. And they actually also were shut out. And of course, conservative students who wanted to hear from these speakers, they could have lost a chance. So it's a very disturbing story. So I think it's something that probably does happen at campuses a lot, probably more now because of these, social distancing limits that administrators can point to.
So they reserve a room at campus at Clemson, which is in South Carolina. There's restrictions because of COVID, so there can't be many people there. Then you have, you said professors? Was Amy Burke a professor, administrator? It says?
No,
okay.
It's two administrators. I'm not sure what their what their role is at the university, but they're definitely administrators.
So it's literally people that are supposed to be in positions that are ensuring that students get a well-rounded education. And by the way, these are points of view that you will rarely hear in the classroom from professors. And so they're actively preventing students that they're supposed to be helping make sure that they get an education, a well-rounded education. They're blocking them from hearing alternative points of view. I mean, this sounds ridiculous to me.
Yeah, and it can't be, I can't emphasize this point enough, that these people are paid, the students are their customers. These students pay for these people to have jobs. So if I was the student, I would be making a lot of noise, and it might be worth it for the students. Look, we're not an advocacy organization, so it's just throwing an idea, but maybe go meet with these administrators and see how brave they are when a couple students respectfully, peacefully go into their office and say, why would you do this? Why would you put all this effort into having an event? Tell me why you would, why would you, of all the things, apparently administrators are always so busy, you would set aside time. Look, if you don't want to go to the event, don't go to the event. If you want to go and challenge a speaker, go and challenge a speaker.
Exactly.
But don't, take the laziest, cruelest option, which is to hurt someone else's event just because you may not like what they have to say. And, these speakers sponsored by a conservative group, certainly, but maybe you'll find something you agree with them on. Maybe they'll an interesting point, or you'll just be exposed to a new idea.
Or maybe if their ideas are as bad as you act like they are, these administrators and so forth, I like it when people who don't make any sense actually get the microphone, because it illustrates just how bad these ideas are. So if the ideas were as bad as they act like they are, they would presumably want as many students to hear about it as possible, so they wouldn't have to continue fighting against these stupid ideas to begin with. So, okay. What really quickly here, there's this pro-life, I'm pulling this one up really quick, Matt, and my computer's not acting quick enough here for me. University officials appear to ignore requests to limit pro-life groups' access on campus. This, some good news. University officials were getting pressure to limit this group's access on campus, and looks like the university may have actually done the right thing. Am I reading this right?
Right. So basically the student government at Colorado State University asked officials to review, it can be a loaded word, advertisements from a group called the Alpha Center, which is a pregnancy resource center. Sometimes they were called crisis pregnancy centers, which is basically a nonprofit that provides maybe assistance in signing up for social services, pregnancy testing, parenting classes. Basically, if you're pregnant, you can go there. Some offer ultrasound, some have more medical capabilities, some are more maybe just like help you, find a job or provide you with diapers. But these student government members were against this group. It does a lot of work. It's not at the university, but it's near campus, and certainly we know that college women are one of the group's highest to have abortions just because they're young, they're less likely to be married, they don't necessarily have a full-time job if they're going to school. And so this group is, we always hear, I'm sure if you've ever done sidewalk counseling or just even talked about being pro-life, we always hear, well, why don't pro-lifers do all these things to help women? It's like, okay, well, we're helping women. It's like, well, we don't like it now because you're too successful.
Yeah.
And, of course, if you're really pro-choice, this is a choice. I'm not pro-choice. I'm certainly pro-life. But if your ideology is, well, women should be able to make this decision on their own, well, then this is an option. This is a pro-life group saying, please consider choosing life. We're here to help you with resources, considering adoption or parenting. And so, this group actually wanted a university employee to be put in the position of fact checker because, I don't really think we want like a government bureaucrat, fact-checking advertisement.
What could possibly go wrong? Yeah.
I mean, maybe those Clemson administrators could get this job.
Maybe. It's a match made in heaven, isn't it? So occasionally some good news on the college front, but I think the bigger picture, and I think what we learn from you each week is that the pursuit. What do I want to say? The pressures, I guess, that are on college campuses to silence free speech or certain points of view, to do away with choice, as in the case with this BYU incoming student, and to have these policies that are sometimes make no sense at all. That this is kind of insidious and rampant. It's just a constant assault, I guess, on common sense and reason and just choice in this particular case on college campuses. So I appreciate what you guys do at the College Fix and bringing these stories to light. And occasionally a university like Colorado State here gets it right and actually does the right thing. So that's good to know as well. So Matt, tell folks where they can find out more about what you do and just where they can get some of these articles and information that you write about at the College Fix.
Sure. So thecollegefix.com is the best place to go. You can sign up for emails. We're on Rumble, Gab, Telegram, of course, Facebook and Twitter. We post probably 5 or 6 different articles a day, so please feel free to take them, share them. If you run like a Tea Party or Republican group or something and you want to put it in your newsletter, certainly, it's out there. It's free to share with your friends and family. And then feel free, our information's on there. If you see something happening at a local college campus or maybe, where your alma mater, feel free to reach out with a tip, and, we'd be happy to look into it.
Well, Matt, I appreciate what you do. Thank you for joining us. As always, we'll have you back on here in a couple weeks. This is Matt Lamb, assistant editor at The College Fix. You can find out more at thecollegefix.com. Matt, thanks so much for joining us, sir.
Thanks for having me.
Listen to Todd's show on your way to work, but want to hear more? Don't miss a beat. Visit toddhuffshow.com/listen to catch the program anytime, anywhere.
There is plenty to worry about these days. If you're working with Blake Hornsby at Northwestern Mutual, your retirement and financial security doesn't need to be one of them. Blake is a time-tested financial advisor with over 20 years of experience at Northwestern Mutual. For an independent review of your financial planning needs, call Blake and mention the Todd Huff Show for a free initial consultation. Call 317-215-8322 or visit blakehornsby.com. Invest in your peace of mind with Blake Hornsby at Northwestern Mutual.
Let's face it, moving is stressful. That's why Jones Movers, a family-owned business for over 40 years, is here to help. Our team is ready to help and respond quickly to your questions. We can handle local and out-of-state moves, which means we can move your items to wherever your pin drops on the map. We also offer self-storage units for furniture and items you need a place for. Go to jonesmovers.com to get things moving today, or visit our Facebook page, Jones Movers.
Are your health insurance premiums making you sick? There is a cure. With the Pro-Life Health Plan, your savings could be as much as 60%. The Pro-Life Health Plan allows you to enjoy the freedom of choosing any doctor, any hospital, anywhere. And their enrollment is open year-round. Just give Eric a call at 888-448-5370 or visit them online at isellhealth.com. Better coverage at a better cost. Has it been a while since your last eye checkup? Has your eyesight changed? At Best Insight Eye Care, they keep an eye on your vision. Their doctors use the most advanced technology and eye care products available. At Best Insight, you will find professionals who genuinely care about you and are dedicated to providing exceptional service. Mention this ad for 10% off your glasses purchase. Schedule your appointment at the Southeast Side, Indianapolis, or New Palestine locations by visiting bestinsighteyecare.com or calling 317-782-4000 to get the best insight.
Need to refresh or renovate your commercial space? Call Interior Construction Services today. Providing the highest level of quality construction at a competitive price, our service-minded team is here to deliver the detail-oriented environment you're looking to create on time and on budget. Call us at 317-991-4660 or visit us online at interiorconstruct.com. Interior Construction Services. Progressive, productive, professional.
Are you looking to purchase waterproof flooring for your home? Did you know it's as easy as typing rnrproducts.com/Todd in your search engine for a great deal on our core tech line? Since 1971, R&R Products has provided brand name products at an affordable price to the listening area. Call 317-745-5794 or go online to rnrproducts.com/Todd. R&R Products. We make your flooring experience easy and affordable.
Welcome back, my friends. I hope you enjoyed that time with Matt Lamb. I always do. Matt is always good at introducing us to stories. Sometimes we talk about things like this without Matt, the things that are happening on our nutty college campuses around the fruited plain. But other times, Matt introduces us to stories that I hadn't seen before. And so I appreciate his work and the hard work of those at the College Fix. And by the way, that's what journalism, looks like. They present the stories as fairly as possible. You got Chuck Todd out there, talked about this yesterday, saying that that's really not the job of journalists. People can confuse fairness and objectivity or some such gibberish and nonsense. Chuck Todd has no idea what journalism is, but that's par for the course for some of these radicals, some of these so-called journalists today. Anyway, so I just want to wrap up today our conversation about COVID. We have, we're losing, some would say we've lost the ability to choose. Choice is important. And when you follow this conversation about COVID to its logical conclusion, and when you treat people like individuals, I don't see how you come down well, and when you understand freedom and liberty and the Constitution and the role of government, I don't see how you come down on the side of force people to get the vaccine. And we're there. We're literally there. It's not surprising, but at the same time, it's still a little bit, to experience it's always different. I shouldn't say it's surprising, but it's just a different maybe sensation or experience to experience to live it. And that's where we are. You know, they mentioned chickenpox. They said the Delta variant is as contagious as the chickenpox. But I was reminded, and again, I'm probably not allowed to ask this question, but who got the chickenpox vaccine? Did you ever get the chickenpox vaccine if you had chickenpox? Well, Todd, that was different. I'm sure that in some ways it was different. But to me, the fundamental truth and the point still matters. And, of course, those of us that grew up, I was a child of the 80s. I love that. What's that song? Can't think of the country song. But, you know, I grew up in that time period. We had my brother and I had chicken pox. We didn't get the vaccine, but now if you've had it, you're supposed to get it. There's just so many things that just don't make sense to me, and you're not allowed to ask. That's the biggest problem. I've got to go. Have a great weekend. Hang in there. SDG, take care.
As a listener of this program, I have no doubt that you embrace the value of hard work, honesty, and integrity. And when you have the opportunity to work with a company that fully embraces and shares these values, I'm sure you jump at it. Economy Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing is just that type of company in Central Indiana. Jeff and Jod Woods have a team of professional technicians here to help tune up your furnace or install a quality new train system. And they're also here to fix those nasty plumbing problems that seem to happen at the absolute worst time. So the next time you have a plumbing, heating, or cooling need, give the good folks at Economy Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing a call. Call 317-831-5279. That's 317-831-5279. Or visit economyheatingandair.com.
Our word can't be diluted because we are taught that a promise is a commitment in which you always follow through. No ifs, ands, or buts. So every time you walk through Greg Hubler Chevrolet doors, you can count on the advice and expertise we provide you. Because when we make a promise, we keep it. Greg Hubler Chevrolet. Promise kept. Visit GregHublerChevy.com. Find new roads.
If you're thinking of buying or selling a home, call my good friend Scott Veerkamp. Scott and his team have been helping people with their real estate needs since 1992, and he has sold literally thousands of homes for good families just like yours. For all your real estate needs, call Scott Veerkamp today at 317-979-4663. That's 979-HOME.